I am back with you guys again to work on our name me statement drawing, and this is going to be based on shape and line, which are two elements of art, and it's going to be based on sort of a descriptive sentence about you that has your name in it. So for me, my first name is Marina, so I put Marina J is creative, playful, and Egyptian, since I'm from Egypt. So that is a descriptive sentence about who I am, and you're going to do the same thing with your own name and create this wavy background to it. So we're going to do that together. First, let me talk about materials. You need a standard piece of white paper, like from the printer, or a white piece of construction paper, something that's close to 9 by 12 or 8.5 by 11 in size for inches. And you want to have some markers. You want color pencils, either markers or color pencils, or if you want to use both, that's fine too. You want a pencil and an eraser as needed. You also want a black sharpie or a black marker that you can use to actually fill your name in with. And I think that's all. Yep, I think that's it. If you want to get a ruler, you can also have a ruler, but I didn't use a ruler for mine. So let's get started. Okay, so here is my piece of paper. And I'm going to begin by creating some crazy wavy lines. And the wavy lines, the amount of space that you want to create for your wavy lines depends on your sentences, okay? So my sentence basically has my name and then one little tiny word and a bigger word, and then the next one is a big word with an and symbol, and then another word. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have like 4 lines essentially for mine. So I would say it's a good idea to go ahead and do 4 to 5 sections. So let's see, if I start up here, sort of in the upper sort of quadrant of my paper, and I'm putting my paper lengthwise so it's vertical, so it's portrait mode, not like this, okay? You want it long like this, vertical. Okay, so here's my first line, and line number 2. And you can do this right along with me, and I'm sort of following the same wave, but I'm changing it up a little bit. Like I kind of want some skinnier sections and some wider sections. I want there to be some sort of playfulness within my lines. And I could probably even do a little one up here, because wherever you don't end up actually drawing is where you'll end up, where you don't put letters, you'll end up just having color there. So I'm going to just go ahead and outline it slowly with my Sharpie marker that doesn't want to work. So let me get a marker that is going to work. And this is just another opportunity to see how I do it. I'll do it slowly, one side to the other. And you're going to do this also on your own paper. And if I don't get it just perfectly on the lines, I'm just going to go back and use my eraser to clean away any leftover pencil marks. If you want to do this straight away with your Sharpie marker without even using pencil, that is absolutely fine. It's all up to you. There are choices you can make throughout the process of art making. Okay, so now I've got my lines. I'm going to go ahead and use my eraser to get rid of any marks that I have left over from my pencil. And notice how I'm holding my paper as I erase so that I don't end up accidentally wrinkling or folding up my paper. I generally like to erase away from the center and then hold it in a supportive way so that it doesn't cause the paper to like come up and wrinkle and do that kind of stuff that happens sometimes. Okay, so here we are. Now, I need to plan my letters. Before I actually make my letters bulkier, I need to sort of plan where they're going to go. So I'm just going to use like sort of one line to make each letter, like a line formation rather than like a bulkier letter. So M is my name, Ma, and the letters, if you can see what I'm doing, they start on one line and they end on the other line. They have to go all the way up. You make them go all the way up. It's going to feel kind of weird. You're going to be like, what? But that's too long. No, but that's the whole point. You want those lines to really exaggerate those letters, okay? So M-A-R-I-N-A, and I'm doing my last name initial right here. Marina J. And I'm putting an is, so you could have done your name now, and then on the second line, or if there's room next to your name at the top line, you can put, you know, Anna S. is, so you're making a statement about yourself. So is creative, so here's my C and my R, and the reason we're planning this out with just normal writing at first, not bulky letters, is so that we make sure we have enough room to actually write our letters, because it's a lot easier obviously to erase a little bit of line than a whole mess of stuff. So that's why I'm going to just plan it out carefully. Is creative, so there's my T and an I right there, and a V and an E. So think about words that describe who you are or even who you want to be, okay? So Marina J is creative, and here is where I'm going to put playful. So here's my P, L, A, Y, F. My F is going to get really small, which I think is super fun. U, L. So there's playful. And here is my and sign. And Egyptian. So let's say your name is Sam. You could do Sam L is fun, exciting, and from Croatia. It's up to you because it's about you, right? It's about what you want to reveal about yourself to describe yourself. So Egyptian, here we go. P, T, I. Notice how the lines for the T and the I at the top and the bottom, they go with that curve. You want them to fit on that curve the same way that we've done the other letters, even though it might feel awkward, okay? It's still going to look like the letter you want it to. A-N. Okay. So, luckily, because I had already done this before I started showing you, I kind of had already planned out my letters and where they were going to go and how they were going to fit. Notice, for example, how here I have this like space here. I don't love having that extra space there, but that's not a big deal because all I did was a simple pencil line, so all I really need to do is I can simply adjust it by making my ampersand symbol larger and just move it over a little bit. So I can go like this and come back and go like that, and that kind of fills up the space a little bit better. So you can make your adjustments with pencil before you move on to your Sharpie marker, okay? Then you can go through here and you can start outlining your letters to make them into sort of bulkier letters. You can do block letters, or you can do bubble letters, or whatever you want to do, because you can turn these letters into whatever, you know, however you want them to look. So for this one, I'm gonna do thin block letters. For my first one, I did sort of rounded block letters. So for this one, I'm gonna do this. And what you're doing is you're essentially building your letters around the lines that you already have there, because you have to stay within that space as much as possible. It's okay if your letters touch, that's totally fine, but you're using the letters that are already there to sort of guide how you build on top of those letters. Do you see how I'm doing that? So here I am, going over here, coming down. Now I'm going to go within, and I want to really try to maintain good craftsmanship by trying to keep my letters uniform, meaning if I'm choosing this one block style, like thin block, as my theme, then I want to keep that uniform throughout to create unity within my letters, within the sentence that we're creating here. So I'm not going to all of a sudden switch to like bubble letters or some other kind of letters. I really want to remain consistent as much as possible. Okay, so there's my N. So you see how I'm building up my letter around what I already have there, and that is a lot easier to do than to just start automatically with your thicker letters, because then you have a lot more erasing to do if you're not happy with the result. Okay, so there, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. So you just keep doing what I'm doing with your own name, with your own sentence. Be aware that with an S, it can kind of get away from you and get too big really quickly. So because these are going to be colored with a black marker, it's okay to adjust it like that to make it work for you. And come down here and do the C. Hopefully you are doing your name. We're working together, but you're doing your letters right now. Use this time. The whole point of Ms. Jenkins making these videos for you is so that it's as if I'm demonstrating in class, okay? And then you're, doing your own work. But if you've already, followed the steps with me, then you are now working on building your letters up and giving them more volume, right? More thickness in the style that you've chosen. So I'm going to stop there, and this is because I want to show you a couple of different styles of lettering that you can do. At this point, you've only done things in pencil so far, so ideally you have the ability to change your mind. So I'm going to put this away for a second, and I'm just going to get another piece of paper, and I'm going to show you some different styles of lettering, okay? So what I was just doing was block lettering, okay? Depending on how long your sentence is or how big your name is, your block lettering can also be much thicker, okay? It can be, really bulky like that, right? So that's block lettering when it's bigger. You could also do bubble letters, which are reminiscent of our friend the bubble. And that's how you would do bubble letters. And bubble letters, like really any of these letters can be pretty cool next to each other, like attached to one another. So there's our B, okay? And if you were to do a C, right, you see how those are bubble-like? There's also another font that I like. I don't know what it's called actually, but I really do like it. Like, here's my name. Okay, here's the M, for example. So here's the M to my name. And on the left side, I'm going to make a block section, okay? So then for the A, I'm going to do that, but instead of just stopping, the left side is the thicker block part. And for the R, same thing. I'm going to do this. And again, the left side has the block section. And then what you can do within that is you can do these lines, like repeated lines like this. I really like this lettering that I'm doing right now. It's kind of one of my favorites. I use it a lot. I just think it's really designy and fun to look at. And then if you wanted to, you could actually color the sections in with different colors, or you could just leave them solid black. So if you didn't want to do the stripes, you could just fill it in like this. Or you could do a pattern with color within there. So just the sky is the limit, you guys. There's so many ways you can go, and that's what's so fun about being an art teacher. I get to see all the different ways that you create, and you inspire me in the same way that I inspire you. Okay, so that is where I am going to stop so that you can continue. And remember, this is your time to keep working. And the lovely thing about the video is that you can go back and see things and practice different things. You can go onto the internet and you can Google fonts or letters, or I even have a book of different fonts and decorative lettering. You can Google typography, and there's so many different ways you can do lettering. So I want you to have a great time, have fun, and then when you're done building on top of your letters to make them bulkier, then you want to choose a different color for each background section of the wave, and then keep your lettering to black or something bold and dark so that it pops off of the colors behind it, okay? And that is all. I hope you have a great time, and I can't wait to see what you do. As always, you're going to upload an image of your finished project to the hub on your class, and you'll see where that is. Guys, I'm going to remain consistent, so I'm not going to surprise you. Once you get good at dealing with the hub and where to turn things in, it's going to be the same thing every single time. And this will be due a week from today. All right, love you guys, and can't wait to see everything. Bye.